Hi, I'm John Arana. This is Karina San Martin.
Hey, everybody.
My daughter,
Yay.
which I'm very proud of. And we're here once again at The Drop.
Yes.
Bringing truth, dropping truth and bringing life.
We're bringing it, dropping it.
It all comes together.
We're just very active here.
So today we're going to talk about
celebration.
Oh, and enjoyment.
Yeah, and enjoyment, and oh my gosh, I can relate to what you're saying, because it is, and I've had to learn to be a little better at this because of my kids.
Oh, yeah.
Because I do tend to lean more towards the side that you lean of yeah, you did a great job. Okay,
awesome.
Great. Great job cleaning your room.
Okay, now go pick up the bicycles in the garage.
Your bathroom is a mess, Instead of being like, wow, I'm having to learn to be like, really specific too with the celebration, like, wow, this is amazing, your books look so great, look at all your shoes lined up, you should feel so proud of yourself, great job, wow, don't you feel good? How do you feel with your room being so clean? Really taking it in, and also learning to teach them to celebrate their achievements and accomplishments, no matter how big or small they are, because I mean, as an adult, we have so many things we have to deal with, and it's like,
I'm telling
we
you,
need to learn to celebrate
and enjoy
our victories.
The moment.
Yes.
And it's almost like celebration always includes praise.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a great thing, and look what God did, and man, we had victory, we actually been successful here, and you did such a good job with your room, and it's almost like they go together. I could have done better about that as a parent.
Oh, it's okay. We survived.
It's okay. I'm sorry. But no, and it's the lack of knowing how to celebrate, or coming from a home that there wasn't that much celebration. And I think I love this, and I want to get better at it, and I think there's a lot of scriptures in the Bible about this powerful practice.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't there one that you want to read? Something like rejoice in the Lord, or something?
When I was thinking about this one, the scripture popped into my head that a lot of us have heard it, but it's in Nehemiah 8:10, and it says, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." Yeah. And, when you celebrate, the achievements or the victories, or I think especially when you've pushed through a really hard time in your life, or even if it's a very personal emotional thing, or something as a family, or I mean, there's just so many opportunities to celebrate. It just brings joy. It's just this thing that lifts everybody's spirits. It lifts your own spirit. It lifts your own confidence. What? Yeah, I did do that. Wow, I did push through that. Wow, I did figure that out. Wow, I totally surrendered and put all my trust in God, and man, look at how great it turned out. Let's celebrate that. And it brings this level of joy to your life that I feel like God is yes, this is a holistic experience of me and my grace and my love. Joy is a part of that.
That's good.
It's not just faith and trust and hope and love and kind of those things that we have to work really hard at sometimes.
Right.
But He's I want you to live with joy,
That's good.
And this is how you can do that. Celebrate the things that are going good.
And it's interesting because as you were talking, I was thinking joy is different than happiness,
It is,
happiness can come and go, but joy is a deeper emotion, and it's rooted in something greater than ourselves. It's rooted in the fact that God is working in our lives, and the fact that sometimes in spite of our own frailties, good things happen.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it's also a way in which we acknowledge God reality in our lives. And I think one of the things that I have lived and I have experienced is the fact that joy pumps me up, makes me feel strong. You know, when I'm feeling joyful, man, I feel like I can climb the mountain. You know, there ain't no mountain high.
We're breaking in the song.
I can do it. I can do it, you know, and I feel like, man, that's such a powerful state to be in. But I'm not always in that state.
Right. You know, it's kind of cool, like that. You know, this is the last one we're talking about, is the joy and the celebration, because to me it's almost like this joy and this celebration, it's like this spiritual endorphin that comes when you begin to be fit, when you begin to be disciplined, you know, when you begin to like do the things that are basically like aligning you up to be spiritually healthy, just like when you do the physical things that align you up to be physically healthy.
Same
you know, like then you experience that release of endorphins that really change the state of your emotions and your mental state. And it's like this joy is like that benefit that comes from being, you know, disciplined and putting your life in a place for God to be able to help you experience those victories.
And I think we take it for granted that people know how to celebrate. You know, think about people that are married, you know, and it's their anniversary. And I can speak from my experience because your mom and I, next January, we're going to be married 45 years.
Wow.
And so here's the thing. What I'm saying is that it's easy to celebrate at the beginning because everybody's all excited about everything, you know?
Wow, we made it 1 year! Let's go big for 5, you know?
And so there was a time that we were kind of running out, I was running out of ideas, you know, how to celebrate. And then so I talked to her and I said, hey, why don't we take turns? You take 1 year, I'll take another year, and we go back and forth. And so we did that for a while. And, you know, after a while, you just say, well, what else can we do that we haven't done? You know? And it's like, you know, people don't necessarily, you know how to celebrate. You know?
That's true.
And so we, as talking about the spiritual dimension, we have to learn how to celebrate. So I guess one of the questions I throw out there for all of us is, what are some ways in which we can celebrate?
I think, I mean,
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I think that's a great question. And I mean, I can think of like the ones that like the ways that I know I do, like, you know, of course now that I'm thinking about it, it's always, it's not like super intentional, like, oh, I'm going to make an appointment to celebrate, you know, but I know what happens.
Today at 3 o'clock.
I'm celebrating my spiritual victory. You know, for me, what naturally happens is I tell like my best friend or my sister or, you know, you or mom or my husband, like I tell people, you know, that maybe have known what I was going through, you know, like, wow, you know, this, I feel like I came out on the end of it and this is what I learned and this is, you know, this and then that, you know, I do share a lot with my best friend and like, she's always there to be like, wow, like, I'm just so proud of you, you know, and like, that's so great. And, you know, like, it's so cool to see like where you started with this and now where you end up. And so I think telling people is important. But I think, you know, like journaling it is important too. I think there's different types of celebrations. It depends on what you're working through, you know, like some people deserve like a big party and a big recognition, you know, like someone who is overcoming an addiction or something like that. You know, like, man, let's celebrate this.
Well, I remember when Sergio, your husband, decided that he was going to run every single day of the year.
Yes.
That meant 365 days without stop.
Without stopping 2 miles every day at least.
And I've thought like, dude, that is monstrous, man. You know?
Not the same.
And I thought to myself, if he does this, I'm going to throw him a party. And sure enough, man, he did it, and he's still doing it.
Yeah, so every day he's just...
A couple years later, he's still doing it.
He's a runner now.
He's a runner. And so he did it, and we threw a party for him.
I remember that.
recognized him, celebrated him, and congratulated him. I think, doing something like that, recognizing people is one way. Take me out to dinner anytime. That's a good celebration for me. Take me out to dinner. Give me a gift card or whatever. But also praising God. Making known the goodness of God in your life. It's another way in which your spirit and your soul can celebrate the victories in your life. Having that attitude of gratitude. And I think it's important to celebrate these milestones in our life. And we have to be intentional. Because if not, what happens to me is easy for me to get caught in the grind and the battles. Okay, I'm done with this one, so I'm going to tackle the next one. And I wake up one day and I'm exhausted.
Exactly. And that's the other thing I was going to say is like, even to just practice this inwardly, like for yourself, like sometimes, I have to tell myself, you know what? You should be proud of yourself.
And it's okay to celebrate.
Yes.
That's where you're going. I like that.
You need to be proud of yourself.
Yes,
or even like journal about it or look at yourself in the mirror and just be like, you know what? You did that. Like
You're awesome, man.
You need to feel good right now.
That's right.
You need to feel good. You should feel accomplished. You need to feel proud that you worked through that. And because sometimes we do deal with things that are very interpersonal and but you still need to celebrate those things. For you, because that builds your strength, your confidence, and it opens yourself to that joy that comes with the celebration of like, wow, man, like, yes, God, we did this.
I'm thinking of what David did, when he had his first victory against the Philistines, which are corruption that corrupts your life. It's a typology. But when he had his first victory and he united Judah and Israel together, his celebration was huge. He was dancing through Main Street, Jerusalem, with the band.
The psychopath, probably.
And everybody was thinking, this dude is crazy.
Because didn't he dance so strong that his clothes fell off?
Yes. He had his, like his underclothes.
His boxers on.
And even his wife, Micah, said, this is ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
This guy is embarrassing. But man, he said, I'm going all out.
I feel like that would hit real different in our modern day. People would be like, yeah! I want to do it too.
But, you got to be intentional.
You do.
And you have to make a point to celebrate. And it's okay to feel good about yourself.
Oh, 100%.
Because remember, Jesus Christ paid a great price to elevate your life.
That's right.
And it's okay to feel good about the victories in your life. Because you're feeling good because of what God has done, but you're also feeling good because you were able to walk through and get to the other side.
And what you've done.
Even if you were crawling, you got
exactly.
there. And it's okay to celebrate. It's okay to feel good. And I think that gives strength to your life. So anyhow, one of the things that I want to say to kind of begin to wrap it off here is that as we learn to practice these spiritual disciplines to be spiritually fit, you're going to find that it diminishes the stress of your life. It diminishes the worry. It diminishes the anxiety.
I love
and
that.
It begins to fill our hearts and our minds with peace and tranquility. It just kind of begins to make you spiritually fit. And a lot of that has to do with your mental state. And I think that these spiritual disciplines are basically a call to obedience towards God. And obedience is not perfection.
That's right.
Obedience is a completely surrendered and committed heart to follow God. And I think that when we treat these spiritual disciplines this way, it begins to cause us to pour our energy and our attention, and doing what God says is going to be good for us.
Yeah.
And I think that creates spiritual fitness in our life.
Definitely.
And it just turbocharges your life to a whole new dimension, like I like to say.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And I just want to encourage you guys who are listening and watching to, you know, like make it a point to practice these things. You know, like
you have to be intentional.
Nothing will change if you don't practice these things. You know, like I'm thinking, I know we've been on this segment for a little while, but you know, back to like the prayer and the meditation, the fasting, you know, like make a point to practice these things, because like, you know, like my dad just said, like these are things that are only going to benefit your life. Spiritually, yes, obviously, but you're going to see even physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, like these spiritual disciplines are to empower your whole life. So I encourage you guys, especially this celebration, celebrate your accomplishments. Celebrate what God has done, and don't be afraid to share it. You know, we put stuff on social media all the time, like the things our kids are doing. And like you should be like, it's okay to celebrate yourself too.
That's right.
You know, so I encourage you to take a moment to celebrate.
And in fact, right after we finish this segment, I'm gonna go celebrate.
Oh yes.
Because we're gonna have a birthday
celebrating
lunch.
Your life.
So I'm gonna celebrate.
Yes. Yeah. So throw yourself those little parties.
Get yourself a little cake and put a candle and say, I am wonderful.
That's right, because you are.
But anyhow, thank you for being here at the drop. And remember that whatever is not attended always goes bad. So be intentional. Attend to your spiritual life, and it will flourish.
That's right.
And you will see a huge payoff. So thank you for being at the drop. Once again, we'll see you at the next episode.